Hey guys, it's btaylortv and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, we are about to get into some things, some celebrity news, some commentary, and how these trending topics can apply to our real everyday life. So Jonah Hill, one of our favorite comedians, is in the headlines after being blasted by his ex-girlfriend as being emotionally abusive. Now, y'all, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, I've had enough of this because I've already had to deal with Keke Palmer's situation, and now she's hitting us with these receipts. So I want to read over some things so I can give you guys some background to what this is and break down both sides, okay? So Jonah Hill was trending after his ex-girlfriend, Sarah Brady, went off on Instagram about their previous relationship. Sarah shared multiple text messages between her and Jonah and encouraged girls to make an exit plan if they experience similar behavior from their partner. So she released some text messages on her story saying, F it, see the misuse of terms boundaries. So I'm going to go ahead and read these text messages to you guys, and y'all can read them along with me. Plain and simple, this is what Jonah said. If you need, 1, surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful. I am not the right partner for you. If things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. Then she goes on to say, I'm sorry I said that. I had a couple of beers and I'm just upset. So apparently she's not even showing her response to this. I'm just upset, feeling like we can't do surf social things without an uncomfortable situation arising. Usually feels like my fault somehow. I feel you pull away, and then the fleeing of being defective creeps in. I think I'm not socially intelligent enough to meet your needs as a partner, and then I get frustrated and angry at myself and just want you to rip the Band-Aid off if I'm not good enough for you. In moments of conflict, my brain thinks you want to dump me because I'm not good enough for you and you're the GOAT and you can do better, and you will immediately once you end things with me. Okay, hold on, y'all, because I got to break this down before I get lost in track. So I want to break down what he put. He put to her his boundaries, what he wants and the standards that he wants for his woman that he wants to have a future with, the woman that he wants to call his girlfriend, and the woman that he wants to carry his child with and have long-term relations with. And that is his boundaries. He doesn't want a woman who is surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit. So he's basically listing all the things that he wants in the relationship. So initially, as I'm reading this list, does this sound controlling? It could be controlling, or it could be his boundaries. Controlling, no. And let me tell you why he is not being controlling. Because after he lists his things of what he wants in a woman, he says, I am not the right partner for you. And if things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. This is where it's not controlling, because he literally is giving her the option to leave the situation. He is clearly stating, you don't have to follow these things that I'm telling you. You don't have to do these things. And this is where us as women have to take accountability and say, we also need to have boundaries. And sir, if your boundaries are crossing my boundaries, and these are things that I don't want to do, and I feel like I would not be me if I was to do it, I have the freedom to walk away. And this is where us as women, we get insecure and try to people please and try to please the wrong man that is not for us. And so I want to go into the next text messages because she is now trying to guilt trip him. And I don't know what all he said previously before these messages because she's skipping over context. And now she's saying things like, I'm not good enough, I'm insecure, I'm defective. I didn't see him say any of these things for her. He was just listing out what type of woman he will want a long-term romantic partnership with. And now she's saying how she's digging into her insecurities and saying, I'm not good enough for him. Ladies, it is okay if you're not meant to be with that man. Sometimes we may like a guy so much and we just really see ourselves with him, and then find out that we're just not a match. And then we somehow try to blame ourselves as if we were the problem because we were not a match. Guess what, sweetheart? It's okay to not be somebody's cup of tea. It's okay. Some people like to wake up and have tea. Some people like to wake up and have coffee. Some people like to have coffee. Some people like to have coffee with no sugar, no cream. And I like mine with a little milk and a little sugar and a little caramel up in there. Okay. So it's okay that somebody has a preference. It's okay for men to have a preference just as much as women have a preference. The thing is, you don't have to deal with it either, mama. You can walk away and say, you know what? These things are more important for me. And if it's taking me out of my character and who I want to be, if I want to go out and post sexy photos of myself, then maybe you need to go find a man that allows that. That's okay with that. But I will say that if you keep running into men who don't want that, then maybe if you want to be with a male, maybe you can, it's okay for you to listen to some of the things and have a compromising conversation about what you do, because the stuff gets old after a while. So like, what's worth it to you? So no, it's not controlling, because he didn't tell her, you better not wear this. And he's like telling her, I bet not catch you wearing. He's like, if you want to do these things, you're not going to do them while I'm with you. Okay. So let me just get that straight right there. It was not controlling. It was him setting his boundaries. So now she's saying things like, I'm defective and I'm not socially intelligent. And it's kind of like when that one friend that's always like the victim. And here she is pulling out a lot of her trauma and like reflecting it and deflecting it on her relationship and what his demands are for his romantic partnership. Ladies, we should have also our demands in a romantic relationship as well. If you are a free-spirited woman, make sure that you get a man who is also free-spirited and whatever comes with that, because it also has some things that comes with that, okay? So she's trying to say, and then I get frustrated at myself and I just want you to rip the Band-Aid off. I'm not good enough for you. No. You think you're not good enough for him because you think of him as the GOAT, as you stated in your text messages, and that he can do better. And so she's basically manifesting this. She's basically insecure with herself and like, oh my God, I'm with Jonah Hill. How did I get with Jonah Hill out of all the women? Ladies, you got to stop comparing yourself to other women and walk in your own essence. If people don't like you, oh, well, goodbye. I'm going to go where I am loved. I'm going to go where I am appreciated. And I'm going to go where I am accepted. I don't have to convince anybody to like me. I've had relationships where I experienced rejection, where I'm like, what? Like, why didn't you not like me and you like her? It's like, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with someone saying, I don't see myself having a future with you because you're not the one. And that's okay. And I think we got to get out of this mindset that we're so awesome that we have to get picked. Not everybody gets picked. And it doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. You're just not the best piece of the puzzle for that person. Even when you think the puzzle piece fits perfectly in your eyes, that doesn't mean the same for them, and nothing is wrong with you. And you got to just really realize, like, you're nothing's wrong with you. Like, you got to walk in your own power and understand that this person didn't appreciate me, but I know for a fact that I'm an amazing person, and I'm going to find and attract somebody that is for me. Okay, so then he goes on to say in the message, you're right. We can't do surf social things or develop trust until you consider me and make decisions that give regard to our relationship. I have been vulnerable as possible, and I am telling you, I am needing you to step up to the plate, which you can. I am sure of it. So he's basically telling her, like, I really feel like what I'm asking from you is possible because I want you. Like, the girl did not register that this man obviously is basically telling her, like, no, woman, I want you. That's why I'm like, hey, look, come on. I know you can do these things. Like, I'm needing you to step up to the plate, which you can. I'm sure of it. But these losers don't get your time if you want me. Straight up, it's consideration. He's like, look, I don't want my woman surrounded by certain men. I want her to carry herself in a certain way. Like, a lot of women feel like, well, if I'm not married, then I don't have to act this way. Well, how would he know that you're a wife? So I'm not saying to act like a wife to men who are not worthy. I'm not saying act like a wife to just a boyfriend, but every wife that I know have shown their husbands before they were married that they are a wife and they carry themselves as a wife. Okay, they walk into an essence of a wife. You can't be out here thinking, I'm going to live a single life and act like a single woman, but I want marriage. If you want marriage, you have to walk into that wife energy and not in a desperation energy of let me be a wife to every man I know. No, there's qualities that a wife carry, and those qualities doesn't always mean cooking and cleaning and washing his drawers. That's not what it means. And I think we get it so confused. But there's just an energy and how you carry yourself and what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate and what you're willing to walk away from. Because every wife that I know, they don't play. And they show qualities of a wife by how they carry themselves, who they surround themselves with, and how they dress and how they act. It's just an essence, okay? So he's basically telling her, like, I'm trying to bring you somewhere, and you're trying to hold on to these people around you, and you're not ready to let these men go that I don't feel comfortable bringing. While I'm bringing you up, you're still down here with them. Then he goes, I respect your love of surfing, but I respect myself as well, and your love of surfing and being in those situations and lack of awareness are not mutually exclusive. This isn't me. I have my own issues that I own. Then he goes in to say, I want marriage and a family. You can't use the 25 card. Step up and cut shit. These people don't get your time or kindness at the sacrifice of minds. So then she puts on there, by these people meant any friends of mine that I had that he hadn't personally approved. So obviously this man was basically looking for marriage for her. I that's what I'm getting from this, is that he's looking for marriage. But I'm gonna have to call him out, okay? I'm gonna have to call Jonah Hill out, because look, at the end of the day, you met this woman and who she was, okay? And then this is where men need to be held accountable. You cannot turn a woman into a wife if she is not your wife. There are probably plenty women who don't do what she does, who are just as awesome and dress a certain way and carry themselves a certain way and hang out with certain people that he should be pursuing. Soon as he saw that she was not that should have registered to him that you cannot force somebody to turn into something that you want them to be. And that goes for both parties, because men definitely do. You know what they try to tell men? Don't turn a 304 into a housewife. That's so true, because a lot of these men try to take these Instagram girls or these quote unquote Instagram models and the 10s, because they're so hot, and try to make them into a wife, and then be frustrated because she's out partying, she's out having fun, she don't want to settle down, she don't want to come in at the right time, she's still hanging out with her friends, she's still dressed in a certain way. But you're a traditional quote unquote man, but you're dating a woman who does not believe in traditional values, but she's hot and she's cute and you're super attracted to her and you want to build a future with her and you like her, but she's not ready for that. That means you cannot force somebody to do that. And ladies, vice versa. If that man is not willing to be a husband and stop going out to the club and partying and staying out until 6 a.m., you knew when you started dating him, he was doing these things. You knew that when you got into a relationship with him, that he was out partying and drinking and hanging out with friends and drinking and driving. And you thought ultimately because you come in his life, those things are going to change. No. Those things are not going to be changed because of you. Those things have to be changed because he wants to change them. That's the difference. And so she's obviously pushing back and saying, I don't want to change these things. I don't want to change my friend group. I don't want to elevate with you in that way. I feel like where I'm at, I'm content. Okay. So then she goes on to say, that makes me feel like you are testing me to see if you should keep me around or dump me because there's something wrong with me, like I'm a nerdy, dorky, unaware, naive, idiot socially. I hear you. And he literally goes, those are your words, not mine. So I don't see emotionally abuse anywhere. I see her self-sabotaging and beating herself up more than anything. I don't see anything in these messages so far that gives that he's trying to control her and that he is mentally abusing her. And then she goes, I hope my ex has a daughter. Maybe she'll turn him into a real feminist. Oh my God, not this. Okay, because the fact that he calls himself a feminist now is laughable. So then she posts another screenshot of him. It's just constant and doesn't reflect where we are at or where you want to be. I respect your skill and your surfing. I respect how you want to present yourself. I respect that you are hot and beautiful. And I respect however you want to live. But I also respect myself. Ladies, if we only carried ourselves in this way. Okay, if we only carried ourselves in this way, like he's like, I love all of that for you and I love that you love that, but I love myself more. Am I reading this wrong? Go ahead and comment below if you're not, if you agree or disagree, because right here in this moment, he goes, but I also respect myself. Not only does he love himself more, but he also respects himself more and know that this is his boundary. Then he goes on to say, and what I'm interested in my own life and what I let into my heart and my inner circle. So celebrate yourself and your life however you please. Okay, he's letting her go and shine bright, but I don't want to have to deal. Okay. Then she posts, this is high-key embarrassing. I did this all in the name of protecting him from crippling anxiety. And then there's like a half cut off message where he's saying something about disrespected. That would be hurtful and triggering for me. She goes, understood. She's like, I don't need or want surfing with men without you there unless they are trusted, close friends, mutually agreed upon. Boundaryless, inappropriate friendship with men to model. To post pictures of myself in a bathing suit for the next year unless it is tasteful, likely surfing photo you have a pre-approved. To post sexual pictures, friendships with unstable women from recent past, beyond getting a lunch and coffee or something respectful. So I don't know what her friend group is, but us ladies know. We sometimes have friends who are a little on the wild side. They're always at the club. They're always partying. They're always drinking. They're sleeping with different men night to night. Some girls still have those type of friends where he's like, look, I don't want to be associated, because if you're still associating with those people, then you're going to be telling them about our business, or you're going to be bringing them around. And I don't like your friends. And sometimes birds of a feather do flock together. Sometimes they don't, but they can have an influence on your decisions in your relationship. Just like none of her friends told her not to post this stuff because it clearly makes her look like a bitter ex. Okay. So there's another text message. Sorry, I'm not trying to make this too long, but I got to break this down. Jonah says, take some accountability and operate with respect. It's simple because I'm tired of your attitude towards surf culture and content and the place because I deserve respect, period. I have been more than patient, and then ish like this is still here. F that contest, F that place, and F not respecting me always in every situation within serve culture, or you don't get it and you don't get me. It's hurtful and unacceptable to me. Get it? I don't know if you get it or care or give a ish about the ish more than me, even after Dr. Stern said it loud and clear. And she goes, Dr. Stern is the couples therapist we were seeing once a week for about a month. So obviously they went to therapy about this, and even the doctor probably told her that, hey, are you willing to compromise some things? And honestly, she was not trying to compromise anything with him. Not at all. So then he goes on to say, nor may have I ever want that from my partner, and I reserve that right, and I'm open about it. Let me know. I'll respect you either way, but these are my boundaries of this romantic relationship. Thanks. I love to know before the premiere, so I'm not put in a position to publicly flaunt our love if my boundaries are not going to be continue to be disrespected, and that would be hurtful and triggering for me. And she goes, understood. And then she goes on to say, someone, an emotionally abusive partner, doesn't mean they are a terrible person. Often stems from their own personal trauma. Girl, okay, I'm going to stop you right there. You sound like you got a lot of trauma, because you were beating yourself up and never tell a man how insecure you are or how you feel about yourself, because a man, you can step out and you'll be like, oh my God, I'm so fat. And your man's like, no, babe, you don't look fat. If you start telling yourself every day you look fat, he's going to start to see it. He's going to start to see your flaws if you keep pointing them out. So the fact that she's like, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, it's going to end. And then she waits to release all of this information now that he is with a new partner and she's pregnant. So he moved on, clearly, and she is sounding like the bitter ex, saying, if you have to deal with a man like this, you need to leave. I hope you have a daughter. Da-da-da-da-da. I can't believe you're a feminist. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he can be all of that and still have boundaries, lady. Okay? It is okay to have boundaries. And I literally made a video about this. Ladies, we need to start having boundaries the way these men have boundaries, because a man will literally have you sitting in a relationship basically saying, you're not the one I want to marry, and then go and marry the other girl, because he has a set of standards for himself and he knows who he wants to marry and who he don't want to marry. And if women were to move like that, we would save ourselves a lot of trouble that we have put ourselves through. Now, we're so persuaded by our love. And I don't know if it's like a programming inside of us or where we are taught I don't want to say programming or that is like inside of us, because there are some women who will literally walk away from a situation if it doesn't serve them no longer and they feel like their boundaries are being crossed. And then there's women like me, who's the lover girl, who's the one that put her hearts on her sleeve. Like, we're naturally people pleasers, especially if you're a people pleaser. So if you're a people pleaser, you're trying to do things to please your man and make him happy, and even at the sacrifice of your own happiness. And that's not how it's supposed to be. You have to realize that I can please you in a certain way, but not at the own compromising myself, my self-respect, the things that I love. But the thing is, I gotta hold Jonah accountable. You met this girl when she was surfing. She's hot. She's beautiful. You don't want her to show her body off. But what made you attracted to her is because she was showing her body off. So if you meet a girl and meet a woman and she's posting all these naked photos of herself and sexy photos of herself, do you think that all suddenly, because you're in a relationship with her and you're treating her right, it's all suddenly going to change her mindset? Less likely, no, because that's who she is. And there are plenty of women on this earth who don't do those things, but you chose a woman who did. So this is all about choosing wrong. But at the same time, not really, because he realized that he chose wrong and was like, hey, look, you can either get with this program or, I don't even think he should have even said that. He should have just saw it for what it was and moved on to the next woman that he should, that's better fit for him. And he obviously have. And now she's talking about it and exposing it, feeling the need that, maybe his girlfriend will leave him because, I'm not alone in this. She sounds bitter. And baby, let that hurt go. I know you're probably mad because he's having a baby with another woman, and that makes you feel like, oh, that insecurity that you said earlier, I'm not good enough. Maybe you're starting to feel those feelings like, well, what woman would put up with that? There are plenty of women who he didn't even have to demand that from because they already do it, because that's a woman that is for him and you weren't. You live a completely different life. So I gotta have them both. I'm holding them both accountable in this situation. I know this video is long. I'm not trying to make it too long, but if you did enjoy this video and you made it to the end, I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you so much for sticking by all of this drama and mess. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like. If you didn't disagree or if you disagree, please go ahead and comment your thoughts below. I would love to join you in the comment section for the rest of this discussion. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to my subscribers, shout out to the newbies, shout out to my mods, and shout out to my members. Thank you guys, and until next time, bye.